November 1930. A fur trapper stumbles into an Inuit village at Anjikuni Lake. What he finds chills him to the bone. Every villager is gone. Graves are ripped open. Sled dogs lie frozen starved. To this day, no one knows what happened. But one thing is certain. The village never came back. Hello, and welcome back. Far up in the frozen wilderness of Canada's Nunavut region, there lies a remote body of water known as Anjikuni Lake. To this day, it remains one of the most mysterious places in the Arctic. Because here, nearly a century ago, an entire Inuit tribe, men, women, and children, supposedly vanished without a trace. No bodies, no tracks in the snow, no signs of struggle, only silence and questions. This chilling story has come to be known as the mystery of the Village of the Dead. But what really happened on that cold November day in 1930? Let's unravel the legend of the lost Eskimo tribe of Anjikuni Lake. It was late November 1930 when a fur trapper named Joe LaBelle was trekking through the icy terrain near Anjikuni Lake. He knew these lands well, and he knew of a small Inuit settlement that often welcomed him during his travels. But when LaBelle arrived, what he found was beyond comprehension. The camp, usually alive with laughter, firelight, and the sounds of sled dogs, was completely deserted. Tents stood silent in the snow. Cooking pots were still warm. Half-stitched garments were left behind, as if the women who worked on them had vanished mid-needle. Even more haunting, LaBelle discovered sled dogs tied to posts, starved to death. And in the burial ground nearby, graves lay open, their markers disturbed. LaBelle panicked. He rushed to alert the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. What he claimed to have witnessed would soon be splashed across newspaper headlines. An Inuit village vanishes without a trace. The Inuit, historically referred to by outsiders as Eskimos, have lived across the Arctic for thousands of years, surviving the harshest conditions on Earth. This particular band near Anjikuni Lake numbered perhaps 24 people, families who hunted, fished, and lived off the land. They were known to fur trappers like LaBelle, who sometimes traded with them. And yet, according to the 1930 account, their entire community disappeared. Mothers, fathers, children, all gone. No blood, no signs of attack, just gone. What could make an entire tribe abandon everything, even their dogs, in such a rush in the middle of the freezing Arctic winter? News of the vanishing village spread quickly. On November 27, 1930, U.S. newspapers picked up the shocking report. Headlines spoke of a mystery stranger than fiction. Over the decades, the story only grew darker. Later retellings claimed hundreds of people had disappeared, not just 24. Some said mysterious lights were seen in the skies above Anjikuni Lake, linking the event to UFOs. Others spoke of curses, spirits, or even supernatural forces lurking in the frozen wilderness. The tale became legend, repeated in books, radio shows, and documentaries under chilling titles like The Village of the Dead. But was it true? The Royal Canadian Mounted Police investigated after LaBelle's story spread. In a report dated January 1931, Sergeant J. Nelson wrote that there was no evidence to support the story. No missing Inuit families, no mass graves disturbed. The RCMP dismissed it as rumor, possibly exaggerated by the press. Skeptics argue that LaBelle's account was either fabricated or wildly misunderstood. Some believe he stumbled upon an abandoned camp and filled the silence with his own fears. Others suggest it was nothing more than a newspaper writer's invention, a ghost story dressed as fact. Still, if it was just fiction, why did the story grip so many imaginations for so long? Over the years, countless theories have been offered. Starvation or famine, Perhaps the tribe was forced to leave suddenly in search of food and perished elsewhere. Migration. The Inuit were semi-nomadic. Could they have simply moved on, with their disappearance exaggerated by outsiders? Hostile attack. Some claim rival groups or even animals drove them away, though there's no evidence of struggle. Supernatural or extraterrestrial. From UFO abductions to curses of the tundra, paranormal explanations keep the legend alive. But the fact remains, no bodies, no traces, and no official records confirm what happened, and that emptiness keeps the story alive. Nearly a century later, the frozen silence of Anjikuni Lake still holds its secret. Did an Inuit tribe truly vanish into thin air, or was it a legend born from fear and snow? The truth may be buried under the Arctic ice forever. What do you believe? That's all for today's mystery. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. See you soon.